Now, in module 6.3, we are going to see how we can develop a personal code of ethics. We all, at some point of time, are going to begin to work. We may work for a company, we may begin our own businesses. So, wherever we do, we will need our personal code of ethics. There will be so much of inclusion which is going to sway us away from our ethics, but we have to maintain our personal ethics at any given time. So, the case study, the artisan's compass, Reena's personal code of ethics. Reena Devi, aged 40, is a skilled weaver and entrepreneur. She runs Weaving Threads, a small business specializing in traditional woolen shawls and stoles, employing a few local women from her village. Reena is respected in her community for her craftsmanship and her commitment to local traditions. As her business grows and she connects with larger markets, both online and in nearby cities, Reena increasingly faces situations that challenge her core beliefs. Reena has always been an honest and hardworking person, guided by a general sense of right and wrong taught by her elders. However, she recognizes that a more explicit personal code of ethics would help her make consistent, principled decisions in the face of modern business pressures and social complexities. So, here we are going to see how a 40-year-old Reena Devi, who is an entrepreneur of weaving threads, is going to manage to maintain her personal code of ethics while also letting her business flourish. So let's begin with the detailing of the case study. Now, the process of developing Reena's personal code of ethics. Reena decides to formalize her ethical framework. She dedicates time to introspection and conversations with trusted mentors. Now, phase one of the same, identifying core values, the foundation. Reena reflects on what truly matters to her, both personally and professionally. She identifies the following as her fundamental values: integrity, honesty, and transparency. Always telling the truth, being upfront, and doing what's right even when difficult. Quality and craftsmanship, upholding the high standards of traditional weaving and never compromising on the quality of our products. Fairness and respect, treating all people, employees, customer, supplier with dignity, ensuring fair wages and honorable dealings. Sustainability, environmental care, respecting nature, minimizing waste, and using resources responsibility, reflecting the reverence for the hill country. Community and local heritage, contributing to her community's well being and preserving traditional art forms is a paramount for her. So that phase one for us and Reena comprised of integrity, quality and craftsmanship, fairness and respect, sustainability, and community and local heritage. Now, her phase two, defining principles, putting values into action. For each value, Reena articulates specific principles that will guide her decisions. The first is integrity. So, the two principles that integrity carries are: I will always be truthful about material, processes, and pricing, even if it means losing a sale. I will admit mistakes promptly and take responsibility. So, that was integrity. Now is quality and craftsmanship. The two principles again: I will never cut corners or materials or weaving time, even under pressure to meet demands. Every product leaving weaving threads must meet my highest personal standard of excellence. So she is bound with quality and craftsmanship as well. Then we have fairness and respect. So the principles guiding here: I will pay my weavers a living wage that reflects their skill and effort, regardless of market fluctuations. I will listen actively to concerns from my team and customers and resolve disputes equitably. Then we have sustainability. The two principles carried in sustainability. I will minimize waste in my weaving process and seek eco friendly packaging solutions. The second, I will prioritize natural dyes and ethically sourced wool, even if they are more expensive. Community and local heritage. The first principle, I will share my knowledge with younger weavers and contribute to local skill development. The second principle, I will actively participate in community welfare initiatives in the community. Now, phase 3, application and reflection, testing the real code in life. Reena's code is soon tested by a real life dilemma. The dilemma is the bulk order compromise. Now, for any smaller company, any smaller entrepreneur, to achieve a bulk order is very, very important for its image, for its financial stability, for its acceptance. So, let's see what happens. Ananya Retail, a large chain of handicraft stores based in Delhi, approaches Reena with a massive order for shawls. It's the biggest order Weaving Threads has ever received, promising significant financial growth. However, Ananya Retail demands lower price point. This would require Reena to use slightly lower grade wool and blend some synthetic fiber, a common industry practice to cut cost. Faster delivery. This would force her weavers to work long hours, potentially compromising the intricate traditional patterns that require time and patience. Minimalist packaging, a request for cheaper, non recyclable plastic packaging to reduce their own costs. This offer directly challenges Reena's values of quality and craftsmanship, fairness and respect, and sustainability also. So, Reena's decision guided by her code. We know that she has a strong code of personal ethics. Let's see how she manages to steer. Reena consults her personal code of ethics. Quality and craftsmanship. Using lower grade wool and synthetic blend violates her principle of never cutting corners on materials. Speeding up production would compromise her principle of highest personal standard of excellence. Fairness and respect, forcing weavers to overwork for less pay implied by lower price point and faster delivery goes against paying a living wage that reflects skill and effort. So she wants to be up with the quality and craftsmanship. She wants to be up with her fairness and respect also. How about sustainability now? Using non recyclable plastic packaging contradicts her principle of seeking eco friendly packaging solution. Now let's see what are the real life decisions that she takes. Reena, despite the lure of significant profit, declines the full Ananya retail order as proposed. Instead, she proposes a revised counterfeit or a offer which includes all her professional ethics. She agrees to a slightly higher volume within her capacity to maintain quality. She insists on using only pure wool and traditional processes, explaining the value proposition of authentic craftsmanship. She proposes a slightly longer delivery time that allows for fair working hours. She offers premium eco friendly packaging as a value add, explaining her sustainability commitment. Consequences of Rina's decision. Now, here also there will be short term and there will be long term. The short term loss of a large immediate revenue system, initial disappointment, and financial uncertainty. Ananya Retail decides to place a smaller initial order based on Reena's term as they are impressed by her integrity. So, even in the short term, there are some losses, but there are some benefits too. Now, the long term reinforced integrity and reputation. Reena's unwavering commitment to her code earns her immense respect from her weavers and her local community, and eventually her clients. Her reputation for authenticity and ethical practices become a strong selling point. Sustainable growth. While growth is slower, it's more stable and aligned with her values. She attracts conscious consumers who are willing to pay a premium for ethical and high quality products, which is very rarely seen these days. Empowered workforce. Her weavers feel very valued, respected, and secure, leading to higher morale, better quality work, and lower attrition. They become ambassadors for weaving threads. Personal fulfillment. Reena feels a profound sense of peace and alignment. Her business is not just a source of income, but a true reflection of who she is and what she stands for. Contribution to local economy and heritage. Weaving threads becomes a model for ethical small businesses in the community, inspiring others to prioritize values alongside profit. Now, in conclusion of the case study, introspection, deep understanding of one's core values, articulation, translating abstract values into clear, actionable plans, the commitment, the willingness to stand by those principles, even when it means sacrificing short term gain for facing difficult choices. Consistency, applying the code consistently across all facets of life. Continuous reflection, regularly reviewing and refining the code as new situation arises. Now, the conclusion actually is Reena's personal code of ethics served as a moral compass, guiding her through the complexities of business and ensuring that her actions remain true to her deepest convictions. It allowed her to build a business that not only thrived but also genuinely enriched her community and upheld the values she held dear in the beautiful setting of her hometown.